makers. Today I'm going to be doing a crochet challenge video, and this challenge video was given to me by April from the Cozy Buckeye, and she has challenged me to go back into my oldest of oldest patterns and find a few patterns that I never made. So I went back into my Etsy to see like how many pages of patterns have I actually purchased. I'm not going to tell you how many patterns I purchased, but I'll just tell you it's a lot. And I'm on page 38 right now, and there's 39 total pages. So I went back to the very beginning when I first started crocheting and finding patterns, thinking of things that I thought I would love to make. And the very first one that I have found that I feel like I would like to actually make is by Anastasia Budeva, and it's a cat pattern. It's actually a cat bunny pattern, but I'm going to make the cat. So it looks like it might take me a little bit of time to make it, but this was one of the first patterns that really caught my eye. So I really want to try it out. So I'm gonna go ahead and go look for some yarn for this adorable cat. In the picture, it looks like he's standing up, but I think she probably has him like on a post or something, but he looks like he would be like a sitting cat. So I'm gonna go grab some yarn and get started. I have a bunch of this Knotty ball yarn left over. This is one of my favorite types of yarn. It's gonna make the cat a little bit bigger than it would be if I made it with Bernat. So I'm gonna go ahead and start working on this adorable cat. I can't wait to see how it's gonna turn out. I'm gonna use an 8mm hook because this yarn is pretty thick. I'm actually second guessing my choices. I have some fluffy yarn that would probably look pretty cute as a cat, but I've already started, so I have to commit to this Knotty ball cat that I'm making. Oops. Right now I can't seem to find the end. I just finished the two legs. This is Pipsqueak yarn. I totally changed. I'm sorry, you probably don't realize that. But I changed, and now I'm going to be using this really pretty fluffy gray yarn makes for an adorable kitten. And now the pattern asks me to single crochet across the top to close them, which I'm getting ready to do right now. 2 arms, or 2 feet now, and now I have 2 little arms, and they are single crochet across the top. Now it looks like I'm gonna start making the tail. So far I really like the way this is turning out. So I'm gonna make the tail. Looks like it is 17 rows. That's a lot of single crochets, but let's get started. One little tail now. The pattern is pretty cool. You make the same exact pattern for the bunny or the cat, but the tail is different. It's pretty similar. So I have 5 parts, and now I'm getting ready to start making the head. It's been a couple of days, and I just want to check in with you guys and kind of let you know my progress on this whole challenge of creating patterns that I purchased but actually never made. So the last time I talked with you guys, I was working on this adorable cat pattern that is by Shop for the Patterns. And the reason why I thought it was so adorable is just it looks like just the sweetest little cat stuffed animal. You can see from the picture, it just looks so adorable. One thing I really liked about this plushie is that it has arms and legs that just kind of plop out. So I just wanted to show him to you. So I finished this guy, and as you saw from the previous clip, I used, you guys can see, I used Pipsqueak yarn, which I talked about in the previous clip, and it did not disappoint. This is the most adorable little kitten. I love how like it almost looks like a little small child or something. The little feet are so fluffy. I really like the shape of the feet, and the tail, it just kind of hangs down in the back. All of the limbs are crocheted in the round, and there is some face shaping that you have to do. You have to do like face shaping this direction and also a worsted weight piece going this way. I didn't add whiskers. I think you probably could if you want, but I really like the way this little guy turned out. I want to make one in solid black. I think people are really love solid black cats, and the one in the picture is solid black, so I think that would be really cute. The ears are surface crocheted. The head is just crocheted like while you're making the body. You don't have to like sew anything on. So I think overall this is a winner pattern. I'm definitely going to make it again. It did take me probably a good 2 hours just because I'd never done it before, and there are a lot of little parts, but once I do it again, I think it'll be a little bit faster. The next pattern that I found while looking through all my patterns, and I was like, oh, I really like this pattern a lot. It's called Monster Mashup. And one thing I loved about it is that you can really make it whatever you want. The creator, Pocketful of Posies, she has different limbs, different horns, different ears. You can do sitting, you can do standing, you can do belly buttons, you can do flowers, you can make little patches. There are so many different ways that you can modify this monster, and how adorable right around Halloween to have like a whole bunch of monsters on your market table. So that's my plan moving forward, but I want to show you how mine turned out. Take a few minutes to appreciate this little guy. So the ideas or the different details that I decided to do the feet with the toes. You can see the little bobble stitches down here. And then I also decided to have my monster be sitting, so he can sit like this. I prefer a sitting animal over a standing animal, but maybe I'll try standing next time. I did was the belly button, and this is just a little bobble stitch. The arms look like little clubs. They match the feet, but you can do like little short arms. You can do long skinny arms. You can really do whatever you want. Everything was crocheted in the round. Even the head, you just crochet right into the head. There's no sewing, which was awesome. When I got to the face, you can do this patch, which I decided to do the color changing patch. And this is the lip, but you can also do no lip. You can just embroider the mouth. You can do, you can not color change and not do the patch. You could also do little like circle freckles. She has a different modification for that. The ears, I did these horns that like go up like this. I decided to do the small round ears, but you also can do round horns and big loopy ears, kind of like the goblin in Harry Potter. But I just love the way this guy turned out. I love the weight of him. He's very solid, like when you sit him in your hand, he's a very solid little monster. And then I chose the tail that looks like this. You can also do like more of a cone shaped tail that is sewn on the back. But just look how adorable he is. Like, he's just so sweet. And then I added, you know, the white detail to the eyes, but I definitely want to make one where I paint the eyes because there are so many different options. This is mystical yarn. I want to say it's Canyon, but I can't be positive. And I just really like the way this turned out. There's so many different color variations that you can do. I even saw one girl in the testers, she did like all the body parts a different color. So he really was like a true monster mashup. So Pocketful, go ahead and check it out. And I think you're really gonna enjoy making this monster as we head into the fall season. This pattern that I chose was a smaller pattern this time, since these two guys were like pretty involved. Like they both took me like a day of doing other things and then like coming back to the pattern. So I decided to do something a little smaller. I found a pattern in my stash by Raven and Jade, and it's the Bitty Kitty, and so adorable. So this is how it looks in the pattern. Like its little feet are like this, and then its little arms are like that, and it's sitting like in a little basket, and it's got this really long tail in the back. I'm not sure about the tail. I think the yarn I used made it like a little too stiff. I might make the tail a little shorter if I made it again. The ears are just crocheted when you're making the head. I did some face shaping here, and I made like just, you know, black safety eyes. But I think overall, for the amount of time I spent on this little adorable pattern, it's so cute. It's not stuffed. It's supposed to be like a little bitty, you know, like the little bitty loveys, like the snugglers, but such a cute little kitten. Again, I want to make more because they're so cute. I want to make a black one. I would like to make a solid brown one, and then maybe like a pink kitty. I know a bunch of little girls would totally love the pink kitty. So I used the same yarn as I did for the monster mashup just because I had it out. I don't have a lot of yarn here at the island, so I went ahead and just used that. And then this is the whipped cream, the Bernat whipped cream, so they're cute together. So those are the 3 patterns I've made so far. My goal is to make 5 patterns that I have not made, but that I purchased a while ago. So I'm gonna go back and look in my stash and see what else I can find. Okay, I picked my next pattern, and it is so cute. It's by Bubba Loves. I can't remember the name of it. Bubba Loves, something like that. I'll put it on the screen. It is called Lula the Love Bug, and it is the most precious little ladybug. I picked something small so that I could manage it because I was picking like these really long projects and it was taking me too long. and I have other stuff to do. So look at this, you guys. Look how cute it is. Super easy. Here's another one. So all you have to do is make the shell, and then you color change to black, and then you fasten off. And then you make the head, which is super easy with two little antenna, and then you just sew it on. And they're just so cute. They're so adorable. I cannot wait to bring these to the market. A whole bunch of these, like a little basket full of little heart-spotted ladybugs. So go out and find this pattern. This is the market make out of all the patterns. This is the one. This is the one you can make a bunch of. I think I made this in like 15, 20 minutes. So Lula the Love Bug is pattern number 4. It's getting quite late, but I am determined to show you guys my last and final pattern that I found in my collection of patterns that I've never made. And I've had this one for a little while. This one is by Cable and Canvas, and it is called Pumpkin Pete and Abby Apple. They are popping fruit. So if you like making fidget toys or popping creatures, you're gonna love this one. This is the apple. I used 16mm sinker eyes, and the apple actually was very fast. I think it took me like 25 minutes to make it, maybe 30 minutes. Super adorable. I used Premier Parfait yarn, and it was very quick. I think this is a great pattern for markets. But let's talk about the pumpkin. So the pumpkin took a while, but like totally worth it. The pumpkin, the biggest round was 54 stitches. So you can see how big the pumpkin is, the pumpkin topper. I actually ran out of this color and then had to switch, and I'm so glad I did because I really like the effect that it gave. So you make the body, you make the 2 legs, and then you attach them together, work your way up the body, add a couple arms. I put the sinker eyes in there. These are 18mm sinker eyes with a little nose or mouth. I think that's a mouth. And then do like a back loop only, and you make this topper part completely separate, and then you just sew it on. So it was actually pretty easy to sew on. I was concerned that it was going to be hard, but it really wasn't. And then it just takes a really long time to make this like pumpkin topper part. Like I think this whole thing took me like 1 hour and 15 minutes, and it's not that big of a product, but really happy with the way this turned out. I think these two are going to be great for fall markets. I think this also might be a good item to add to my Etsy shop. So I just want to show this last little pattern to you guys as we are heading into the end of summer. I thought that would be a fun one to do. The last part of this challenge is for me to challenge somebody new, so hold on. Okay, I have found 2 YouTubers that I love to challenge them to go out and look at all their patterns they've purchased and make 5 or more patterns that they have not made yet. So I am going to challenge Crafty Kait with Crafty Kait, and I'm also going to challenge Alexis with Knotty Dreams. So those are 2 YouTubers that I watch often, and I love their channels, so go out and give them a follow. And guys, this is the end of the video. Thank you so much for following along with me. I hope that maybe you were inspired by the patterns that I just made. And thank you to Stacy and April for creating this challenge. It was another fun one for me and just gave me like a reason to go out and look at some of those patterns that I haven't touched for a while. So thank you so much, guys, and I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.